Thanks for staying with us, guys.
Good morning, everyone.
Y'all.
Morning. We're all together in the kitchen.
Yes,
with
we
our
are.
chef as well.
Yes.
Chef Oru Baby.
Yes.
Ori Baby.
You see what happened? I said Ori
What
Baby.
does Ori Baby mean, actually?
It's like a nickname given to me by my dad, just like Bobo. What does it mean? But
Really?
I feel
Your dad gave you the nickname Ori Baby?
Yeah, but I feel like
Like Ori Baby, like shea butter Ori.
Okay. It's Ori Babes.
Okay, Ori Babes.
Ori Babes.
Because I could also say shea butter baby.
So there's Ori Baby.
But my actual name is Oriolua, so I feel we changed the
And now we
Now
it makes sense.
Exactly.
Ori
Yeah.
Ori babes.
You look really nice today.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
love your
so
outfit.
much. Thank you.
Very-
It's one of my many innovations.
She makes them work. I don't know. She puts those colors
Just
together.
a reminder, guys, I own a fashion brand.
Yeah.
And we
If she
are-
didn't, what
located-
else would she do?
And we are located on the island, so if this is something that you like,
Oh.
hit me up.
In any case,
Yeah, so I recently caught up on a report that says excessive use of perfumes can cause cancer.
oh wow. So, are you going for a checkup anytime?
Because
When you're
I just
walking.
used one like few seconds ago, but I feel like some of these things shouldn't be taken for granted. You know, like I feel like
Scary.
everything now is causing cancer. Even the food that we eat, they say the not that they say actually based on research. Let's not even joke about this. There are certain radicals, free radicals, that are that are usually emitted from the cooker.
Yeah,
Whether you're
cookware,
using a gas cooker or
Electric,
stoveware or any sort of ware, there are free radicals that are actually, emitted that get into the food that actually cause you, cancer.
So it's scary because there are different types of cancer and different things supposedly causing, cancer in many people. But we have to say that there is no actual research that says A plus B equals to the big C. Just so that everyone understands that all these things are just speculations. There are a lot of scientific, what's the term? Well, there is a lot of scientific research towards, possible things that are leading to cancer.
But
However, one thing we know is that people that are more prone to cancer have been able to curb it with changing their lifestyle, getting rid of all sorts of foods that have food coloring and preservatives, apparently microwaving food a certain way, like canned food, processed food. So all that research has helped people who were living with it sort of, head edge away from it or be, what's that term they use whenever they check you every month or every 3 months for cancer? They said that it's in remission. That's what they say.
Yeah, in remission.
Yeah. So hopefully those are the kinds of things we need to put in place to make sure that it's not happening anymore.
But I just feel like, we live in an era where, we would always hear that so much of everything is not good. But how do you define excess when it comes to perfume? Especially like how many puffs will you say is too much? Especially when we're not even buying the original. And at the end of the day, we need to put as many puffs as we can put to even smell very good. You know what I'm saying? So is it the amount? Is it the amount of the liquid on you, or when is it too much?
So now you're not even talking about deodorants.
Exactly.
Yeah, so deodorants as well. Yeah,
Imagine you put,
well.
just think
Well,
about
also
think about this.
included.
You're in Lagos where things are tough. As me, you don't even have your own car, so you need to put in. You use, after you're done with your bathing soap, you use your body lotion. Then you use your roll-on. Then you use your body spray.
All of
then
these
you
things
use
actually
your
have
perfume.
chemical substances.
Just because you want to smell nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because you want to smell nice.
So
Just because you want to smell nice.
are we now saying everybody should just smell?
That's another
Don't
form
be
of cancer.
smelling. So
That's another form of cancer because
So the issue is there are actually some other herbal forms of deodorant now. I've been reading up on this, funny enough.
Yeah.
And apparently things like cloves,
Yeah.
you know, there's some herbs, things like rosemary. There's some oils you can mix with a lot of herbs.
Lemon oil.
Yes, lemon oils. Those are all more natural. Probably a little bit more expensive, but if you, God forbid,
People know
have
this economy now.
family
You know how
history.
difficult it is in this economy
Hey,
to
but people with
even.
family history,
Yeah, but then
Like,
again,
you cancer know what they are looking for.
this was
Cancer know what they are looking for. Just and you can't if you no. Let me tell you why. See, you cannot live a life where you're guarding or guarded every single minute and
you
think
sure?
you cannot, because you know what, the next day you hear another story. If you take too much of water, or if you take too much of this, you take too much of that.
Yeah, there's
you want
so
to-
many. There are so
Kai.
many scientific studies, but then again, I feel like we shouldn't. This is something we shouldn't be lackadaisical about it. Let's not be
Absolutely.
nonchalant
True.
about it. I mean, if they've brought it to our attention,
Yeah.
let's pay attention to it and let's take it seriously.
So-
but then again, it was actually supposed to be a news mention. Now you guys have like.
it's fine, it's fine. So the reason
There
why-
were a few
it's
other
actually a
stories
deep-
that actually, I know. But there were a few other stories
just
that
say
got
one
our
thing.
attention. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to say that apparently some of the foods we eat actually cause body odor. The oily foods, the very oily foods, things that have a lot of cholesterol apparently cause body odor. I don't know, I read it somewhere. I'm not saying it's true. But the
Okay,
truth is,
let's
if you
ask the chef.
adjust,
Let's ask the chef
Yeah.
now. Do you think there are meals that you would take that would actually affect the body
The
odor,
body.
or that would
To be
give
honest,
terrible
I
body
can't
odor?
say.
you can't say.
I can't say.
But basically
Because
experience.
I make healthy meals, so I don't think I'll.
Of course.
Okay, I see what you're doing there.
Of
All right,
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
daddy proud.
Right, I know. Still on the streets of socials, there's
Yeah.
a particular story that got our attention, and reason it did is because we see a lot more alarming cases. I don't know if it is because the media is reporting more of it, and that is we see more reports now of domestic violence and domestic abuse in marriages. And so there was one I saw yesterday.
Video,
Yeah, it was a video of a man beating a woman, and he was actually hitting her with is it a bat?
No, it was a table tennis
panel, yeah.
Paddle.
Hitting her with it and then
In
pulling
front
her
of the
around in
kids.
front of the kids. And then someone was recording it, and I kept on asking myself, so the person recording it, I understand.
It was a child
It
recording
didn't sound like a child was recording
It was
it.
a child recording that thing. It was one of the kids. It was a child recording that thing, and I don't think the person recording it had any say or could do anything about it. And the truth is, in the comment section, I read further, and it said that that the woman had reported the man multiple times.
Yes.
He had been arrested multiple times.
But the police keep saying it's a family issue.
It's a family issue. I don't know. If a repeat offender keeps being, reported over and over, something needs to be done. And someone needs to rescue that woman from that situation,
So
because scary.
In my line of work, and not just as a broadcast journalist, but also because as an advocate for women and girl children, I come across a lot of these cases, and I have even personally experienced where someone went to report to the police, but they would always, as much as they would step in, but they wouldn't step in the manner at which you would expect them to step in. And I'm talking about the police now, because they always say it's a family issue, go and deal with it. But then again, people, they actually do. They actually do. In a lot of, and this is something that I have personally
It is scary.
experienced. It is really sad. But then, like I said, there's an extent to which the police can also wade in on these issues. And that's why we have NGOs. We have Lagos State has a domestic sexual violence and response team that is very active on issues like this, on cases of domestic violence. They don't even play with it. And I would say that to an extent, for the police, to the extent at which they weighed in on these issues is also because we have seen cases where some of these cases are reported and then the wife drops
the charge,
or the husband drops it, because I mean the domestic violence is a two-way street. It's not only women that suffer domestic violence. Men also suffer domestic violence. We've seen cases where the women eventually come and say, no, it's my husband, we'll handle it as a family issue, and then the police will say, okay, it's okay, now you people go and handle it, because then again it is still a family issue.
So in any other, well, I won't say any other country, in a lot of countries, assault is assault, and it's treated as assault and battery. It's not treated as domestic violence in terms of once it gets to the police station. And the truth is that woman probably has actual physical signs of injury, right? All these things should be documented and kept as a case is built. So in the end, a man like that, obviously, it's not the first time he's doing this to her. And if she has reported over time, and eventually what she can do is collect all this documentation, all the evidence, and then hand it over to a lawyer who can now help her sort things out. Whether it is, I'm not saying a divorce lawyer, I'm saying a lawyer that can get justice for the assault and battery issue of things, right? So my main concern now is the kids and what they're seeing.
Right.
And they're seeing a man beat on a woman first, not just daddy beat on mommy, a man beating on a woman. If there's a male child there or a girl child there, that is going to be ingrained.
So imagine the effect that this has on the kids. I mean, there are different angles to definitely approach this, but then again, I would say that even someone watching now might say, oh, I cannot afford a lawyer, or I don't have a lawyer to reach out to. But there is the Domestic Sexual Violence and Response Team. They are open 24/7. You reach out to them. So just Google them. Their information is right on there. The minute you call them, somebody is ready to get on your case as immediately, as quick as possible. So and if you know someone who's also going through this sort of ordeal, I mean, reach out to them as well.
Please make sure you use social media to speak as much as you can. Tell your stories. It's very important as well. Please use the social media hashtag #WakeUpNigeria to tell us stories, or if you have anything like, if you've ever heard anything like this as well. Do not go anywhere, guys. Wake Up Nigeria continues. So we'll be right back.